What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Gym Floor. We are unpacking the 5 traits that you need to run a 10k per month business. How do you need to think? What do you need to pay attention to? Who do you need to be to take your business from 1.5k per week and drive it straight up to 10k months? We cover things like branding, confidence, adaptability, and a few other bits and pieces. So really valuable insight into the mistakes that we've made and things that we wish we learnt earlier, and how you can get on top of them much sooner than what we did. So enjoy the episode. Not sure if the spot's filled yet because we did this on delay, but let's say that it is still available. A one-on-one mentoring program with me, a 12-week accelerated program to take your business to the next level. I would say if you're getting close to that 10K and you want to be able to scale and make things a little bit more, it's probably for you. Or if you have a specific area in your business that you really need help with and you want to go to the next level in that, let me know. One-on-one for 12 weeks, one spot available. Or our signature program, self, systems, service, sales, and skills. Standout PT, head to the website, stcfit.com, go to Standout PT, book a discovery call. We can unpack everything that's going on in your business. Enjoy the episode.
Yeah, I think there will be a shift again though. Like it was minimal t-shirts, like minimalistic design, then it went to like graphics. And I think we're on the other side of like big text and graphics, and now we're going to go back towards...
Everyone has a front runner shirt now. Like every brand makes a front runner shirt.
Yeah, they make a big texted shirt. Absolutely.
Yeah, and like everyone's got a front runner logo.
Yeah, it's
version.
like everyone has that, and then if you're the minimalist crowd, everyone has like a variation of like font just on the on the shirt,
and the essentials jumper that has been made 100
absolutely
times.
Yeah, everyone's got those, which is fine. Like horses for courses, right?
Yeah.
So I think we'll go back towards
crisp again.
I think we'll go minimal on the front, busy on the back. I think that's where it's going. Well, that's where I'm going with my fashion. So, if I do it, maybe everyone will copy me.
Yeah.
Because I'll set because I was getting those shirts before everyone. So, here you go. I was cool before everyone.
Yeah.
So,
it's only new for me. I've only been cool for 6 months.
You saw it enough. It didn't rub off. It had to take 6 months.
Just like...
No, it's fair.
I'm already like, is it Wanda, the brand? They sell it at the store. Anyway, so like front runner-esque, but I'm already like, I'm going to buy their range because I don't want front runner.
Yeah, well, fair.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that one. Yeah.
I really like their styling.
Yeah.
Not too busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Nina Pasadena one I got's okay. It's just not that comfortable.
I was this close to buying a Balenciaga t-shirt.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then I was like, can't do it. I was just like, can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like, it's too much for me. I was getting anxiety even in the shop because like the guy was hectic. So I don't know if you've ever been in a Balenciaga store, but it's real like black, sharp, like just, and it's like heavily skewed towards I would say, Asian population. Yeah. Like the people in there were Asian, like, it was just like had that.
Yeah.
And then I saw this one t-shirt and I liked it and I put it on and I was just like, oh, it's too much for me. Take it back. Like it was just hectic. Yeah. But I was so close.
Do you think we move away from homeless in the next 2 years?
I think it's a style now. I think people have adopted it.
Yeah. How long does it run though? Like how long is that?
No, but I think there's variations within homeless.
Say more words.
So there's going to be like styles, right? So people are going to go from like what's the checkered pattern shit that they have. Like there's that's like there's homeless within that.
Yeah.
So I think that they'll go corduroy, then they'll go this.
Fuck.
Like
bring the cords back.
Absolutely, man.
Lordy.
Yeah, and it's like it also is like it's not just the clothing. It's like the hair. It's the mustache. It's the like there's. It's even in the winter, it's like, are they going to go small beanie? Are they going to go big beanie?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like a style now and a persona, and people are just going to, rotate through that. It's just like we have a style, and that style's just going to, go through its natural cycles as well.
Yeah. I just don't feel comfortable that messy. I really struggle with it.
I could never do it.
Yeah.
It's just not. But it's just not my style.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like I couldn't wear the shoes, and because they wear suede and light colors, and you know they wear Vans and shit.
Yeah.
It's like that's not.
So how funny, right?
It.
Talking about like marketing and branding. Branding is probably the better word.
Yeah.
Going into this conversation. So I rode BMX for 10 years, 15 years, but like actually rode BMX for 10 before that. I was 5. So like I rode a BMX, but wasn't a BMX rider. Does that make sense?
So when you say road BMX, like you had a BMX bike?
Yeah, like jumps in the circle, wall fox branding. Like I was a BMX kid.
Did you have a Mongoose or?
I had a Diamondback.
Yeah, I had a Mongoose.
Yeah, Mongoose was good. Harrow was gold standard.
Yeah, Harrow, yeah.
I had Diamondback and it was a big flex.
Remember one of my friends had a GT bump? Remember?
Oof.
Yeah, and we were like,
oof.
This guy's got rich parents.
Yeah, I remember like if you had a bike with a gyro on the handlebars, it's like, shit. Shit.
Bro, my second Mongoose had that.
Yeah.
Mate, it was like this, like, you know, like Aston Martin green, like the English green, British green. It was that color. I had pegs on it.
Mine was this color.
Fuck, bro, it was the best day. I remember running. I still remember running down that hallway and just seeing it near the Christmas tree. I was just like, go back to bed. And I was like, because I got up super early. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I am like the coolest on the street right now.
And then I took the front brakes off it because that's what you used to do.
Yeah, just use your foot.
Yeah. So you used to take the front brakes off the gyro and then just have the back brake, and then you use your foot to obviously prop the back up so you could get on your pegs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a time.
Those were the good old days, mate.
Yeah, I can't remember where I was going with my BMX story.
Yeah.
The clothing. So went into the Emporium to do Christmas shopping for ourselves.
Yeah.
And walked past Vans. I've watched so much Beard Meats Food that I was like, I should go in there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to wear anything Vans ever. If I didn't wear it when I was 15 riding BMX, I'm not going to wear it now. But just like the brand recognition, I was like, it's Vans. I should go look. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's wild. I hope they pay him a lot of money, and I bet they don't.
Yeah, I would say he would just wear that. I don't know.
I got the impression that he just wears it.
Yeah, I don't think it would be.
Because he makes jokes about it and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like infected my brain that I know you went through the stage of it.
Oh, the competitive eating thing?
Just him.
Yeah. I'm
just Beards Meats.
I'm still on the combat veteran story. I just watched like Zero Dark 30, The Hunt for Osama Bin Laden. I'm like right into it.
Just here to depress us again.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
it's not even depressive. It's fucking sick.
I'm just like the last set of every exercise, just like, let's get it all the time.
Yeah.
I need my own catchphrase for the pod because I relentless with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, just hell bent on the war stories, mate.
Maybe we should go do like paintball, but actually, you know how you can do
CQB,
the paintball, but they show you shit.
Yeah, I tried to look up. So I've already looked this up. So I tried to look up like like CQB training.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have a lot here.
No surprise in Melbourne, to be honest.
Yeah, and then like
the biggest gun protest for the gun seminar thing.
Oh, here we go.
Even here.
No, it's like an RTO. I don't want to do like I don't
want cert in it.
Yeah. And then this one, like you need so this is what happened. So a lot of them, you need to have a gun and like a license. And,
of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, why am I surprised at that?
Yeah. But it'd be cool to just go to like a tactical day. That'd be fun.
You know how many times I've like filled out the form to get a gun license and then just never gone and set the test? I've done it so many times, bro. Like, yeah. And then, there's not many, basically. I almost don't think there's any. We would be better off taking our dogs to get tactical training than us getting tactical training, Yeah. It's huge over in America, though, man.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I had
probably just because they have guns.
Yeah, so I had no idea that, like, home defense was a market. And there's, like, ex-military... ex-defense force, like they're teaching people how to protect their families in their house. And it's huge, bro. Like they run courses, teach you like how to, segment your house into like areas and shit. And like if an invader gets into your home, like you've got a plan.
Yeah.
So it's like you get out of bed, secure the first perimeter, and then if you've got children, like you bring them back to your like safe area.
Yep.
And you're literally like hunkering into your safe area, and it's like anyone who comes through that door is gonna fucking cop it.
That's wild. So wild. I've read some stuff about like response times, and like it was like things that Australians don't understand about American gun laws, because we're just like, just give them back like we did.
Yeah.
Like one dude shot a lot of people, and we're like, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
We don't play with these toys anymore.
Yeah.
And one of them was like I think whatever the state was, the average police response rate was like 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's too long.
It's like,
someone's
game
come
over,
and gone by then.
Yeah.
Kind of fucking tied you
so
up.
the home protection things actually, like, there's a lot of those little country towns that like they have like one sheriff or whatever that's asleep.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's not call the Werribee station. It's,
Yeah. So and even like gun design. So they have like, there's certain guns that are better to walk with on a daily carry.
Yeah.
And then there's guns that are better performance-wise in your home.
Yep.
And it's like magazine size, weight, like grip, like reload speed. I was watching this dude. So he had a gun, and it was in a holster, and it was secured with a piece of string to his belt. And he could put the gun was so fucking small, bro. He put it at the top of his belt buckle, and he just tucked in his shirt, and he goes, "Can you see that I have a weapon concealed?" And they're like, "Nah." And he's like, and then he was just like so nonchalant. He's like, shit pops off, pull it out. He's like, make some music, and then he's like, and just put it away. I was like, that's a man.
Terrifying.
That's a man. If you say make music with a gun,
terrifying.
You're a bad person.
That's terrifying. Abort mission.
It's like, oh yeah. Anyway.
Fuck.
So yeah, I'm like into the weeds on it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to segue that.
Yeah. It's like just incredible shit. You know?
It's wild. Just
I'm taking my shoes off.
It is a bit
It's getting warm in here.
It is a bit warm.
The gym's going to be roasting when I get there.
Rest day.
Have you trained today? Oh, I was going to, yeah. I saw you at your computer. I was like, he's normally training at this time. I'm like, maybe he's training later.
I was doing cardio. I was doing 2 cardio sessions, now doing 1. So I'll do cardio before this.
Yeah. I've got to train shoulders and arms, so it's like not.
It'll
take like 40 minutes. I could do it at home, but it's going to be worse at home because it's going to be hotter at home.
Agreed.
In the garage.
But you get to play with Mav.
Yeah.
That's not as positive.
Mav and I are knocking heads at the
Beefing.
moment. Yeah.
Beefing.
He's got a bit too much control in the house at the moment.
Gotcha.
The mum being home.
Right.
Yeah, so he just gets to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's dog hair everywhere. Just
yeah.
So I'm like, Mum goes back to work next week, bro.
We're gonna have some conversation.
You're gonna start fucking going outside.
We're gonna have some
Yeah, you're gonna be living outside, brother.
Yeah.
And Dad goes to the gym. So yeah.
All right. Traits of a 10k-month personal trainer.
Yeah.
Mentality focused. What do you think? And we'll just get yours and then I'll do mine.
Yeah.
What do you think are the most common traits you see in successful people? Like, let's look at Standout, our careers, who we've mentored.
Yeah. So, characteristics. It's funny, man. Like, it's very similar to like those characteristics of like a high performing client. Goal setting, task orientated, self reflection, growth and ownership mentality. I'm going to start there. Resilient.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop there.
Yeah.
But I know there's a few more.
One. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they're it.
The first one I've got on here is relentless consistency.
Yep.
Which I think is resiliency. It's the same. Like, you can't be consistent without it.
Showing up in absence of how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah. So Layla's quote that I stole and have adopted, and at some point people will just believe it's mine.
She'll say too many other cool things to people to remember that.
People forget I only have one. Resilience is measured in the time between you having the emotion and it no longer affecting your behavior.
Yeah.
It's been like my mantra the last 6 months. So how quick can you go from feeling a thing to behaving normally? I think the only caveat of that is like, for a mental health standpoint, like not just burying the thing, that you actually have to identify, like, I feel this because whatever reason, like I feel insecure or I feel whatever, instead of just like, just do more. Because you'll fucking fall into a heap very quickly if you do that. So being able to, last week's episode that was 2 hours ago, we spoke about those fundamental KPIs.
Yeah.
Get the whatever amount of appointments you need per week. Do the whatever social media posts per week you've committed to, whatever DMs you've committed to, whatever the highest return for effort, lifeblood of your business things, whatever they are, do them no matter what. Everyone that I know is really successful does that.
Yep. Absolutely.
And everyone I know that stays the same or flip-flops, it's because of those things.
I agree.
I would also, the relentless consistency thing. So how would you go about helping someone who's maybe not been consistent? Looking at a 25, so they're going, yeah, like I probably didn't have my most consistent year last year in terms of output. I dropped the ball on stuff. I let myself get busy, or I let circumstances, life, whatever, get in the way of my performance.
Yeah.
What advice are you giving them for the new year to perform better and more consistently?
They have to commit to their schedule. They have to commit to...
So scheduling?
Yeah,
because most people don't have one.
Yeah, well, they've got to commit to... So you need to adopt the life of somebody who has the results you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you're looking at, like, what's a version of me that's making 10 grand a month or 20 grand a month or, I don't know, whatever it is, like, has 40 sessions, whatever. It's like, well, what would they be doing that's different? Like, what would they be doing? What am I doing? And where are the gaps and how do I fill them? So you got to know what that is. Yeah, and most of the time it starts with scheduling. Like you said, like no one sits down and like knows, reviews their business, has like a meeting with themselves or maybe their team and, goes, right, this is what happened last week. This is what this week looks, this is the ambitions and the targets we have for this quarter. I can extrapolate all this data that suggests we have like a marketing issue or a sales issue or, whatever. Like they don't have any of that stuff. So you would need to, have a scheduling time for that and then commit to it.
Yeah. I'll talk about my scheduling and then we'll do yours.
Yep.
So the way I schedule my week is I use Google Calendar for all my recurring events.
Yep.
I have fortnightly mentoring. Then I have, also we'll go from the start of the week. So Monday morning, the only thing that's like a me only task that I have fixed in my calendar is Monday 9:30. I do my check-in.
Yep.
Which is an overview of the entire business. So it's my performance on my own Ben Scott STC coaching. Then it's revenue profit from every area of the business. Then Mimi's in before team call, you, Tam, Dad. Yeah. And then it's content on that afternoon. I don't have content blocked out because it depends on how those meetings go. If there's other shit on, I found if I block everything, it fucks me up. But I know I have to be on those calls at those times, so they're put in a calendar.
Absolutely.
And repeat.
Yep.
We've got our mentoring calls, then we've got our Standout PT calls, and then I've got a couple of coaching ones that are once a fortnight. Yep. I do my check-ins at the same time, but they're not necessarily in my calendar, if that makes sense. I know I do them after Standout.
Yeah, okay.
Twice a week.
Yeah.
Then my Trello board, I have a list for every day of the week. Mm-hmm. A checklist of what needs to happen that day.
Yeah.
And I'll open up, right, so Monday is my content needs to be done, the captions need to be done, the STC collab post needs to be done, meetings, I do programming typically on a Monday, because I put it in there in case someone needs one on a Monday.
Yeah,
so
smart.
I've missed it. And that usually kind of fills out, because content takes quite a while.
Yeah.
It kind of fills out that, and then there's usually moving bits and pieces inside that. Then I'll have my Tuesday through to Friday kind of checklist. I'll then have a running to-do list that as I enter stuff in it, place it in order of importance.
Yeah.
So whatever needs most urgent is at the top, and if I put something new in, I'll look at where it sits in the hierarchy and actually move it.
Yeah, okay.
Into that straight away.
Yeah.
So then Monday, cool, content's done. I've still got 2 hours before the end of the day. This is happening right now.
Yeah, let's get this done.
I look at the running list and be like, this is a really big priority. I can do content any time of day.
Yeah.
So this needs to be done immediately. I then have like a workshop-y list. It's like if my running to-do list ever gets empty, do that stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll have like some project shit laying around.
Brainstorm and stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. And that's pretty much how I put together my entire week.
Yeah. Mine's very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just have a list of things to do and a priority list for the week, and I'll just drag from the to-do list to the priority week list. So I'm like, this is what I need, because the to-do list is fucking never ending. Like, it's 1 to 15,
Yeah.
So I just drag over like what I'm getting done for the week. So this week I have to get, it's just like the sales funnel, the emails, the offer, the website, like all of that shit. That was the priority for the week. So I just drag over all those tasks, and then it's like, cool, if I get them all done, it's like, do I have time to do others? No. Then leave it. And then next week I'll be like, okay, cool. The next thing is like, whatever the next step is for, the projects and stuff that we have. And then I still have the fixed tasks, no different to you.
Yep.
And then, I spend a short period before our meeting, like looking over like my budget, financial position, client book, all of that stuff. And then, we go into our meeting, and then social media content, check-ins, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Yep.
Standout PT, all that stuff. So it's all planned. Workouts planned. Work hours are semi-planned. It's like 9:30 to 6.
How similar are your work days?
Yeah.
Do you have like set work break times?
Yeah. Of course I do.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm on the computer between 9:30 and 10 every day, and I work till 6.
Yep. Yeah, so that's starting between 9:30 and 10.
Yeah, and I work till 6 nearly every night.
Yeah, so you train early.
Nearly 4 till 6 every night I'll work too, but at the moment it's more 6, of course.
Yeah.
So it's like, your 6-8 hours on the computer type deal. So that's how I do it. I'd rather get up, go to the gym, get everything out of the way. Yep. I find I'm at my best when I prioritize me first.
Yes.
And because that's really important. And if I start work and then I'm like an afterthought, I get a little bit spiteful and shitty, and then it affects, everything else.
Yep.
You start rushing things because I'm like, go to the gym.
Or whatever, yeah.
So I'm like, fuck it. I've set up my life to just work when I want to. I'm at my best at this time. Steph works all the time too.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Once we have dinner at 7, we both sit and chill out together, and then bedtime, whatever. So works really well for me.
I grabbed a habit during the cut that I get up at 5, do my steps, eat. Well, I wasn't eating. Have my pre-workout.
Yeah.
And go to the gym. And then after the third day, I was like, why are you walking on your walking pad in the lounge room? Put it at the computer.
Yeah.
And I was like, this half an hour is actually... Some days it's really productive and I get a lot done. Some days it's puts me... that like anxiety, overwhelm feeling of like, what have I got to do today?
Yeah.
Is not there, because it's like, I ticked off that annoying thing. I ticked off that annoying thing while no one's messaging me. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Everyone's still in bed. And set myself up to know this is what today looks like.
Yeah.
As much as it was planned the day before, and I know what every Tuesday looks like, what every Wednesday looks like, it's just like, okay, like this morning I've had this fucking roles and responsibility document hanging over my head for like 3 weeks. I'm just like, okay, this morning's the morning it gets done.
Yeah.
At 5 o'clock, it's the first thing, so it's off my fucking brain because it's doing my head in.
Yeah.
Because I'll get distracted, the podcast will go late, or I'll want to get a coffee after, and whatever. So that's been really useful. Just like half an hour, get up, make coffee, then go eat, and go gym.
That's an ace I have up my sleeve that I play sometimes. Yeah. Like tomorrow I'll get up early and do some work.
Yeah, I'll work before gym tomorrow,
and then
for sure.
work before we go to the gym.
Yeah.
Because I know, I need a really jam-packed, productive, short period of time.
Yeah.
That's the first hours of the day.
Yeah. When no one's annoyed.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna. That's an ace up my sleeve that I'm just gonna use tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't even open Slack.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've also started not responding to my WhatsApp after like 6.
Yeah.
Which is my clients, and then my Instagram after 7, which is just general. And I do that instead of opening my phone. So I don't open my phone really until I get to the gym. Yeah. But I've done all my replies, so I'm not anxious about it on the laptop.
Yeah. That's good, man. I like that idea of that app that Tam had too.
Yeah.
It's just like one. There's always going to be a time when someone made it.
Put it together, yeah.
So
just the idea of opening Instagram and not have to scroll.
Yeah. Yeah, even just finding, you just got fucking... Your phone is just...
Yeah.
Red notifications everywhere. I'm like, looking at my phone screen sometimes, I'm like, this gives me anxiety.
The only thing I'm curious about is like, can I ignore the alerts the way I can ignore... Yeah. I can ignore WhatsApp because I know I only open it when I sit down at a computer. Yeah. Because that's the deal I have with my clients. So can I ignore a notification? It's showing me that there's a notification, but it could be Instagram. It could be somewhere else.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So that'll be the only thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another mentality that getting to 10k months needs, and I think this is a challenging one, it's client-centric thinking. I think client-centric thinking in the extreme end holds people back. It holds them at 1k weeks.
Yeah.
Because everything they do is in the best interest only of the client.
Yeah.
And they forget to actually run a business. Mm-hmm. That's one polar end. The other end is all you think about is money.
Yeah.
And your retention sucks, your service sucks, and like your business, you're just selling shit and turning people over in 12 weeks.
Yeah.
How have we found the balance between those two things?
How do we? So we always run the service. So we run the service with the idea of the client experience being the best possible. Mm-hmm. We run our business with the idea that it works for us.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So what the person gets is always orientated around them, but how we operate as a whole is for us.
Yeah. I think the language we've got in our vision mission statement is not to do anything that will never negatively impact the client experience.
Yeah. That's it.
Or take away from their ability to get an outcome or anything like that. So it's like, if you're sitting there going, well, I'm totally client-centric, so they pay me in cash because they asked to, or they transfer me money, or they pay up front, or they whatever.
Yeah, they have all the power.
They don't have a minimum term. They don't have a cancellation period. They don't have make-up sessions, whatever. Like all of those fundamentals that you're going, oh, but I would just want to be, I just care about people and getting like that kind of, you're just scared. If you're in that position, that's going to hold you back infinitely. And the way to solve that is if I put a direct debit, 12-week minimum term, 2 weeks notice to cancel, 24-hour notice, missed session policy, catch-up sessions for all missed sessions. If I put that process in place, does it negatively impact the client?
Yeah.
And then break it down logically. Well, it commits them to a minimum term, so they're going to more likely to get a better result and they're more committed to the process. Win for the client. They don't have to think about payment and overwhelm, and they're more likely to stay committed because they don't have to think about paying you every week. Win for the client. 24 hours notice to cancel. Are they just going to not come because they can't be fucked? No. Okay, win for the client.
Yeah.
You start to break it down, and you're like, well, actually,
not
only is this not worse for the client, it's way fucking better.
Yeah, and I think sometimes I like the idea of the client-centric thing, but then sometimes there also has to be like overwhelming benefit for you that may not be overwhelming benefit for the client, but it still doesn't negatively impact them either.
Well, I think that's how we run our business.
Yeah, like even if, like, say for argument's sake, like you couldn't ramble off all those benefits that you just said because you just don't have the brain to do it.
Yeah.
But then you look at all the benefits that it gives you. They're just so overwhelmingly positive that it's like you still have to put it. You still can put them on direct debit. You don't have to just go. Yeah, you don't have to go. Well, there's not enough benefits for the client, so I shouldn't do it. It's like there's still things that you should implement that positively affect your business that have. They might have a net zero impact on the client.
Well, neutral's ideal.
Absolutely. Yeah. On board with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's it. That the language we use is it doesn't have a negative impact on the client.
Definitely.
Yeah. Being business minded. So treating your PT like a business.
Yeah.
Not a job.
Yeah. Tough one.
It's a non-negotiable.
Takes a lot of development to do that.
What stage of your career did that happen?
When I had a mentor, or when our PT manager was actually business minded and opened my eyes into like, this is how you get leads and this is what you need to track and these are the conversations that we need to have. I think it was like Ben. Remember Ben Webster? Yeah. Good man.
Shout out to Ben.
Yeah, really good guy. Yeah, great dude.
Still in a good life model, I think.
Yeah, like he was the first person that was like, these are the conversations that we should be having. What's working on your business, like, and I was like, okay, this all makes sense, you know. And then, it just kind of evolved from there. So I think it would have been 24.
Yep.
24, 25. Yeah, something along those lines. So I've been doing for 4 or 5 years since then.
Yeah.
Slaving.
So trainers coming into Standout, what are the biggest things they're overlooking in terms of like having a business focus, like a business mind?
Say, repeating ourselves now. Knowing your numbers.
Yeah.
That's the first place.
Yeah, I think that's where you start, hey?
Yeah, because once you know your numbers, you know what to solve.
Yeah.
You can learn all this stuff about business, but then you don't know how to apply it because you don't know where to apply it and why. So if you know your numbers first, you're like, all right, this is how many clients I have, this is how many are on, this is how much income's coming through, these are all the services and, suspensions and conversions and leads and sales, like no-shows and appearances and all that. Like if you have all of that information, then you can be like, okay, well, my conversion rate is like 20%. The people coming is like 80%. So it's not a like get bums on seats problem. It's I need to get better at selling the dream.
Sales,
yeah. So you can extrapolate that where you go, I need clients, and your conversion rate is like 100% because every single person you sit with, you land. You just only get like one a week.
Yeah.
But you're just not getting enough bums on seats. Then you have a lead acquisition problem.
Yes.
So then you know where to put your time and effort. The last thing you need to do is like be the trainer that like just makes the spreadsheet because they don't know what to do. So they just make something feel productive, and it's just like busy work.
Yeah.
Like you can't run a successful business just doing a bunch of random shit, just hoping something lands. Like you need to know exactly where the problems are, and it all starts with like the numbers.
Yeah. I think it's a really good way of like depersonalizing it too.
Yeah.
So like the note here, the note here is like start to run a business instead of work a job. I would almost go like that job that you work is for your clients. Like when you're new, you're just like, I work for my client, and my client tells me what to do. When you start doing numbers like that, you start to be able to take the lens out and look at an entity that isn't you, that exists on its own. So it's not... Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're taking the emotion out of it. It's all objective.
Yeah, and then it's data on a page. Yes, there's going to be emotion, and
of course it is.
You're still going to have your identity tied to your business, especially early days. But it's a chance for you to be like objectively what's happening.
Yeah, but you got to treat it like the power that you get from like stepping on the scale every day. It's the same concept, right? Like everybody who's comfortable with jumping on the scale, like there's still sometimes when they see a number they don't like it's somewhat like affecting them at an emotional level. It's just very minor.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop you from showing up. Like we always say, like the number shouldn't affect your identity. It shouldn't affect how you feel, whatever. Like that's the parallels. That's the same when you put your numbers into your business. You're like, oh, fuck, it's like I'm not really like where I should be, or like these numbers are a little bit shit and I'm not making the money that I want or whatever. I'm not getting the traction. That shouldn't affect your ability to perform. It should give you an idea of like where you need to lift.
Yes.
So yeah, have to start with the numbers.
Yeah. I would go from there. It's the flip side of it is thinking that being business minded is not being yourself. I think people misinterpret what being business minded means, and it's like we did it for fucking ages. Got to put the polo on, got to put the language on, got to communicate and present and perform, and
it's like a polished look.
Yeah, that's not business minded.
Yeah, I agree.
Business minded is being able to objectively look at the situation that's in front of you, objectively look at your business, and like you said, identify the strengths and weaknesses and the room for improvements, and then put plans in place to do those.
Yeah.
Most personal trainers only look at their clients.
Yeah, it's like they look at a sector within a business as their whole business.
Yeah, which is client satisfaction.
Yeah, it's
service.
It's like they don't look at like marketing, sales, service, and retention.
Yeah,
they only look at service and maybe retention. Because if they increase the service.
Yeah.
So they think that that's their whole business. And it's like, you need marketing and you need to sell.
Yeah.
To, and they connotate those things with, like negative associations. So then they have even more resistance to go into them because it's taking them away from what they believe is like the main area of their job, is just to train the people. But it's like, hey man, like you can't train people if you don't bring people to you.
Correct. Yeah, and I think so. What we used to sell Standout PT as, and still for me, to run a 10k-month business well and be happy, we'll put that on there, like not be pulling your hair out. Your business would be repeatable to a point that someone else could run it.
Yeah.
So even in the service element, they only think about what goes to the client and the outcomes of the client and serving them and keeping them at all costs through fiat usually.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't think about, is this online onboarding process repeatable? Is this programming process repeatable?
Yeah.
Does it make sense to spend 30, 60, 90 minutes with someone face to face and then do an online check-in for them? Like they're not there.
Yeah.
It's just like client. So they're not even able to look at from a business element, and I think that's the litmus test. If I could come and work in your business and run it for you for a month while you went on holidays, you have a business.
Yeah.
If not, you have a job.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate test.
Yeah, that's how you know you've graduated.
Yeah. And I think you would say about your business, obviously they're not going to have your zone of genius. They're going to program as good as you. The nutrition plan's not going to be as good as you. The communication's not as good as you. But you could sit a brand new trainer down and say, this is what you need to do this week to make the wheels of this business turn over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Adaptability. So successful trainers pivot strategies and something isn't working. So you mentioned goal setting earlier. That's actually not on my list. But having a clear...
It's task oriented, yeah.
Yeah, having a clear pathway of where you want to be.
Yeah.
6 months, a year.
Talk about it all the time. It's so important, man. Got to have vision and purpose.
We talked about in the fit episode how a lot of people don't set goals because they're afraid they won't achieve them.
Yeah.
So
I reckon more people would set less goals in this space because it's even more emotional.
100%. Yeah. And even hearing
so much more impactful on their life,
Hearing 10k a month, you're like, it's like more than both of your parents ever earned, probably. For most PTs. So being adaptable to the situation that's in front of you solves a lot of that problem too. Yeah. It's like if you're scared of not achieving a goal, if you're adaptable, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's like you're aiming at a target, things changed, the target changed.
How do you train that?
How do you train it?
So that's the thing I always ponder that. I'm like, because I'm a pretty rigid person in terms of my behavior. I like to control the controllables, and I have very, very consistent kind of schedule. But then I'm like, if shit happens, I'm like, I have this initial fuck, this is
panic.
This is different. This is different. But now the older I get, the now I'm more narrow the time between emotion and action. So I'm like, how do I make, if I was, what I would give to be 25 and have that. Yeah. Now, you know what I mean? And even then, the gap that I have is it's still not as rapid as maybe other people. I got a mate of mine, he's just fucking so nonchalant. Just nothing shakes this guy. I'm like, how do you fucking live? I'm almost the polar opposite of if something is just slightly out of whack, I'm like, fuck, the day is ruined. Yeah. But I've been able to narrow the time to just getting the fuck over and getting on with it.
If you were 22 and because we didn't have access to one, had a business mentor.
Yeah. Well,
that said, go and try this strategy, review the data, reapply. Yeah. Like you do with your training. Do you think that would have solved that problem?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's just the support.
Then maybe that's how you train it, right? It's just because that frustration that you have and the panic and the overwhelm and the fuck, this is different. It's when reality doesn't meet the expectation. So we spoke about the belt on last week's episode. My expectation was I'm going to give you a lot of money, but that belt's going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
When that expectation wasn't met, I was really pissed off.
Yeah.
That I had to come onto the podcast and rant about it.
Yeah.
Had I not had the expectation it was coming tomorrow, I would have been fine.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
So they did I can't remember what book it's in. They did a test of like, they deliberately delayed flights and tested responses. One, they delayed the flight for 30 minutes for both. They told one group it was going to be 45 minutes to an hour delay, and they told one group it was going to be 15 minutes delay. And then they tested the satisfaction rates. And I think they actually even did it again and made the delay longer. So they made it like 45 minutes but told them an hour.
Yeah.
The longer delay with the notice, still higher satisfaction rate than telling them 15 minutes and it being 30.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So people would rather wait 45 minutes.
They'd rather but know it's going to be longer. Yeah.
And feel like they got early.
Yeah.
Than be told 15 and wait 30.
Yeah.
So that expectation. So if you set a goal, if you have a expectation that all your clients are going to be nice to you and no one's going to...
Yeah, no one's going to leave. Like, everyone's going to just stay forever. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, expectation that it's not, at least at some level, a transaction. And remember the first time, you may not have had it, that like, you would get an email maybe for you. You get an email to cancel. It's like, I saw you an hour ago.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I get it now because obviously we have admin. And you're like, oh, we just did a check-in. Like, what?
Yeah.
This email isn't even to me. It's just to admin. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I've been coaching you for 3 years and you're like not even going to tell me? All right. That's...
Yeah, and I just spoke to you.
Yeah. So that stuff really hurts when you have the expectation that it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think having someone who's experienced, whether you're paying for them or whatever,
we can lean on a circle.
To be able to just be like, yeah, it's really normal.
Yeah, yeah. And you got to get the fuck over it. And
Yeah.
move on. Like, respectfully, of course.
Yeah. I think our biggest adaptability moment was the gym closures.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that was a showcase of the strength of that characteristic for us.
Yeah.
Was like, everyone put their head in the sand, we pivoted, and just made the best of a bad situation. You have to use that as an example all of the time.
Yeah.
And you just have to respond.
Yeah.
You know? Because their life and business, like, the world changes and that affects your business, let alone the individual lives that affect your business that you impact.
Yeah.
So you constantly have to learn to pivot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like social media.
Yeah.
It's not what it was 2 years ago.
It's not what it was 6 months ago.
It's a totally different game. Yeah. 100%.
It's crazy.
It's a totally different game.
Evolving so quickly.
So the strategies are different. What worked doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
But the communication styles don't work anymore.
Yep.
It just being able to, again, coming back to your data.
Yeah.
When something is not working, seeing it, identifying it, and changing something.
Yeah. I think the easiest way to describe it is just like the opposite of adaptability is being rigid. And you look at anyone that's like been really resistant to change and rigid in their approach, like they're not here anymore.
Yeah.
Like we've outlasted all of them.
Yeah.
Like by then some. Like it's almost
Decades.
like a multiplication. It's a multiplication of the time that they did. And I think that's just the easiest way. It's like,
yeah,
you become set in your ways. You become resistant to change. Everything moves and you stay the same. Like we spoke about before. It's like, what is that costing you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, so trainability for adaptability. It's a lot of abilities. How do you train someone to be more adaptable?
I don't think you can.
Other than the advice.
I think it's honestly, I just think it's the awareness. It's like narrow the time between that initial shock and emotion to action, positive action, positive deliberate action, not just like make a fucking spreadsheet. Positive deliberate action. Narrow that gap as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I had the awareness to say that to myself so many times in my younger years. Yeah.
The other one that I've always found difficult as being inherently optimistic. let's call it. Especially earlier.
Yeah,
Less
man.
now. Maybe probably pre-lockdown, and then I was like, fuck everything.
You know what Steph said to me about a month ago?
What's that?
She's like, you are not as like optimistic.
You're not?
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
you're just not. I can't remember what she said. It kind of pissed me off a little bit. But she was like saying something like, I don't talk about like how I like with the goals and the ambitions and like with excitement and shit. She's like, you just talk about them like they're a transaction.
Yep.
And I said, and like she's like, you just were a little more positive when you were younger. And I said, yeah. And I said, because I'm 15 years into entrepreneurship.
Weathered.
And I'm like, I know what I said to her. I said, I'm over celebrating the wins.
Yeah.
And over worrying about the lows.
Yeah.
So the older we've gotten, you and I talk about that pendulum. I'm like, rather than getting ridiculously excited and ridiculously upset, I'm trying my best to stay as neutral as possible for everything.
Yeah.
And I actually feel a lot better about things.
Yeah.
I think she was associating it as if like the energy was that I'm less positive. But I was like, it's not that. I'm like, I have goals, ambitions, and everything, and I'm working my ass off to get there. I'm trying not to let my actual expression of my emotions become too extreme.
Yeah. At either end.
Yeah, because it's fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
1 minute you're super happy and you're like, we're going to make it. And then the next minute you're just like, oh, the business is fucking, we're going to go fucking bankrupt next week. Yeah, because you always accentuate like, your emotions are always like kind of a little bit of a multiplication of the magnitude of what actually is. It's like, two clients leave like, we're going broke. And then it's like, you sign a new deal and you're like, win Lambo. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So just trying to stay, really level headed, I think is just a sign of maturity maybe. I don't know. Or I just age because I'm old and tired.
Just been hurt enough times.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think, particularly like pre-lockdown, and it's a skill that I had to develop, and honestly, it was probably the first time I really did it was the lockdown situation. But really considering all the things that could go wrong and what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's debilitating for some people. And you have to be careful to walk the line of it. And like you said, that the one piece of advice you got from Dean was like, if it doesn't work out and you're fucked, don't do it.
Yeah, if the answer is I'm fucked, don't do it.
I think, and Dad does it for us as well, but even just conversations with you, like back then, was like, let's just fucking do this. And you're like, yeah, but bro, X, Y, Z. I'm like, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah.
It's like, I just saw.
Yeah.
Forward. Onward and upward, let's fucking go. And Jace would be like, what if this happens? And be like, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. I got that from my wife though, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I'm like, we're going to do this. She's like, you thought of that? I'm like, stop being so fucking negative.
So being on the lookout and having awareness of shit that could go wrong, but not it's going to affect your decision making, but not stopping you from moving forwards.
Yeah, it's tough, man, because you like, you hear the stories, you got to take more risks, you got to go all in, you got to commit, and there's always that element of chance that things may not work out. Absolutely. There still is. Like, you just have to have that, like, awareness to do a bit of an analysis on the sitch.
Yeah.
And then, like I took from Dean, is like, if it doesn't work out and the answer is I'm fucked, don't do it. It doesn't matter what the upside is. It's like, I could put my whole life savings into Bitcoin and it could go to $1 million and I could be rich. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but if it doesn't work out, I'm fucked. So don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's very straightforward. It's a really simple analogy. And we do it all the time. The gym that we were supposed to go, the gym we wanted for years, fell into our lap to purchase, and we did an analysis on it, took the emotion out of it, not happening.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Like, the opportunity outweighed the risk. Mm-hmm. So I think if you have that awareness to be able to do that for yourself, you'll make better decisions and you'll be able to make more calculated risk. Because at the end of the day, there's always that chance that something could go wrong. You're just trying to minimize the negative things and you're trying to maximize the upside.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not going to work out. That is what it is. It's just life,
Yeah, and it's like one of the potential outcomes is an outcome you've never fucking thought of that could just bin it.
Yeah.
And you just have to have that in the back of your mind. Yeah. There's a line, I'm obsessed with this song called Berlin. I can't remember the artist's name. Yeah. And there's a line that's, if I'm back to the block, then so what? I'm fucking back to the block.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously taking a chance in the music career. If it doesn't work out, I'll just go back and sell drugs. Whatever. I always have in the back of my mind, I can go make $3,000 a week doing PT.
Yeah, I said to someone, when we were fucking D&M and when we were fucking cooked. Yeah, just too much drinks, fucking late at night, whatever. I was like, if it doesn't work out, I'll just do what everybody else does, just work till I'm fucking 65.
Yeah.
Or 70.
Yeah.
And then just retire. And then, it's like, I gave it the shot.
Yeah.
And
you won't die wondering.
If I don't, the worst thing that I'm going to do is the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be all right. So I think that gives me another saving grace to kind of get after it.
Yeah. So I think you need to have a healthy awareness of potential obstacles and be looking. And I think I am not doing the best job of it the last 6 months because just bandwidth is low. And part of this, let's get help is to have that thought again.
Yeah.
Have that space to think. To be able to just go for a walk for going for a walk, not doing steps.
Yeah.
To assess what's happening in the economic climate, what's happening culturally, what's happening, what's going on in the world that could affect my business. What's going on in my little micro niche that could affect my business? What's going on with social media? What's going on with body types in general, trends, AI? What's actually happening and what could fuck me? So we won COVID because they cancelled an NBA game. Pulling it all back, I walked out in a hotel room. I don't even watch basketball. And I was like, there's nothing to do. I'll put the NBA on. And they said, today's game has been cancelled due to the coronavirus. And I went, fuck. If the NBA is going to stop a game, the world's about to stop.
Absolutely.
2 weeks, exercise libraries were done, home workouts were done, marketing strategy was done. Clients were told, if we close, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And we had 4 sold out online trainers during the entire time.
Yeah.
And everyone else did not.
It still gives me nausea thinking about it.
100%.
That first day.
And then, like you said, the gym, and I think this is personal development for me. We were in the spiral, numbers. And it was like, stop. What are we doing? We're going to buy a gym? Cool. Who's going to run it? We're going to have to. Okay. Who's got the time to do that? Yep. Is the profit margin really there? No. Is there another gym that looks fucking amazing opening within 12 kilometers? 8 kilometers?
Yeah.
Yes. Do they have bigger budget than us? Yes. Is it fresher, newer, means we have to spend an extra $100,000 developing this place? Yes. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Walk away. There's no we can do it better.
Yeah, there's no ego in it.
Fuck that.
Just take the emotions out, move on.
Yeah. All right, so adaptability. Sales is the next one.
Yep.
If you can't sell, and people hear sales and they think the last line of, so that's going to be $110 a week for 2 sessions.
Yeah.
That's what they think sales is.
Yeah, it's forcing people to buy shit they don't want. Like those people at the fucking supermarket who hassle you before you go in and out.
Yeah. So I want to put marketing and sales, being able to sell yourself.
Yeah.
Through social media, email, long form content.
Yeah, communication.
Your presence on the floor.
Yeah. How
you interact with people, your brand, and your brand is all of those things. What people think of when they see you, the message that you convey, the results that you get.
It's almost like how to sell yourself and PT.
Correct.
Like how you sell yourself and coaching.
Yeah. If you are still shying away from that sales is a dirty word, that money is an awkward conversation to be had, and all of that's really hard, 10k-month's give me a challenge.
Yeah, I saw someone share a post of just ragging on the time sensitivity and the spots and shit.
Yeah. And
I was just you're not going to make it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just that mentality around marketing and sales. I'm you that resistance and that self-limiting belief is the reason that you're going to struggle
Yeah.
to fill your books.
Yeah.
Just kind of sad.
And there's so many
Yeah.
decent coaches that just won't be adaptable
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, and realistic too, man. Like, you can't have a small business and not run a business.
Yeah.
You can't just do the main service part of a small business and that is it. Like, we would, and when I got into it at university and wanted to train people, that's exactly what I wanted. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
So you just got to learn the skills to put yourself in a position to make what you want and work with who you want.
You're a small business owner, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep.
So biggest mistakes you think we've made in that?
Sales?
I've always been really good at the selling part, like the closing and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, maybe like
I think the messaging,
the marketing side of things has always been a bit of a
Yeah.
let's not sugarcoat it. Fucking sucked at the marketing.
Yeah.
We have.
Yeah, for a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
And it was a massive hole and we fixed it. It got a little bit better. Then we got some momentum. Now we're hitting a position where, like, what we're currently doing.
It's the ceiling.
Well, yeah, that's it. What we're currently doing is the ceiling, and we've got to break through. So we're going to change things up, and that's why we got some more help.
Yeah. So the same way that going from $1,000 to $1,500 a week to going to $2,500 a week requires a different approach.
Absolutely.
It's not just grinding out the phone, walking the floor, doing all that kind of shit. To go from touching just on 7 figures to going to multiple 7 figures is different.
Yeah, even
play a different game.
From a personal level, like I had made the realization, and it come from like I think I watched something of someone kind of presenting on business, and I was like kind of just always getting from like 22 to 25 online clients, and then I'd always drop back. So I'd get to 25, and I'm like, I'm gonna make it. Then 30 was the benchmark. I was like, when I get to 30, I've clocked it, and then it was this realization like, you have hit your limit on your strategy and what you're doing currently to break through to that. You need to change things up a little bit.
Yep.
And then I think from there, I can't remember what we did, but I'm pretty sure it was like when I upped my post frequency, did the 60-day challenge or whatever it is that I did. So you post every day and changed the messaging, redid the avatar, whatever. But basically like increased my output and the specificity and all of that. And now like that got me to 40. But now it's like a normality how to operate that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're always going to hit like levels in your marketing, and that's going to prevent like blocks.
Yeah.
And then you've got to kind
it's
of
a bottleneck or a glass
take a
ceiling,
little,
right?
So the marketing side of things is a challenge.
Yeah.
That's definitely the thing we struggle with the most. I struggled to sell, I'll admit it, especially at the start. I was, a highly educated person, very smart, very good at their job, knew a lot about textbook-based knowledge. But I didn't have an idea of how to map out the dream and
journey,
tap into the emotions and make it personable to the client. I was always just like, this is what I can do for you, but it was just like general shit.
Yeah.
And then this is what we do, and this is how it looks. And
you should pay me because the program's good. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So knowing how to market yourself is very important. Showing people proof that you're good at your job. People don't understand that. Like coaches and business owners don't understand that like people actually want to see like social proof that you can do your job.
Yeah.
Like I'm never going to walk into a car dealership and just like buy a car. Like the only reason I bought a car without test driving it is because they had such a powerful brand and I'd seen it for so many years. I was like, I know this car's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know it's better than mine.
Yeah.
So I was like, they were like, you didn't test drive it. I'm like, I don't know if I can need to. It looks good. It's got everything I need. It's in the color I want. And it's the fucking price I'm willing to pay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, have fucking at it.
Let's
well
go.
done, Mercedes-Benz. You did a great job of like, your brand and your marketing is like, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So it's like, not a lot of people have that as a personal trainer. So you have to, have that social proof, show people you're good at your job, solve problems, like all of that. Like they just miss that mark. They're just like, I'm good at what I do, so people should come. Mm-hmm. Put yourself in the frame of mind of like, what would you want to see to hire a coach or to purchase something like you would want.
What you just said is so fucking powerful.
What part of
like how many people are sitting in gyms, right? They want to get online because if you want to go 10k months, you're probably going to have at least hybrid, if not some online clients.
Yeah.
How many people are sitting there expecting online clients because they have them face to face?
Yep.
And your face-to-face model is cool. You're from the gym. They don't realize that being from the gym carries a reputation.
Yeah.
You're an expert because they fucking pay you to be there. They don't, but they think you do.
Mm.
So you've already got leverage. They've already got an idea of the gym being a brick and mortar space that carries weight.
Yeah.
They come in, they spend half an hour with you. You get to engage with them, get to know them, talk to them, make them feel seen if you're good at it. Do all of these things that like create buy-in and emotion and attach that to you. You're the fucking solution to my problem. Then you go out and train them. And they're like, I've never trained like this before.
Yeah.
You're building rapport. You're talking about future plans. You're like, we're going to go this and that and that. You've built this whole fucking framework out for them. Like, here it is. Like you said, it's getting better than just like, here's a program.
Yeah.
Then you offer them the price point and you close, say you're like 6 months in, you're doing at least 50, if not 70% close ratio, right?
Yep.
Then they go on the internet and put up 3 posts.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you should work with me because I've got an online trainer in my fucking bio.
I've been doing this for 5 years. It's like, you haven't been doing online for any years.
Yeah.
You got no experience. No one knows who you are.
Yeah.
Only the people in your gym know who you are who follow you on Instagram.
So I've probably was it this episode we're talking about Vans at the start? Yeah.
Yeah. It's all blending into one.
Like, yeah, fuck. It's number 4, guys. I reckon I've watched at least 50.
Yep.
At least 50 episodes of Beard Meets Fit.
Yep.
For me to look at Vans and go,
seems all right.
should go in that store. No.
Yeah.
And keep walking.
Yep.
50. You're putting out 2 posts a week, that's 6 months.
Yep.
For me to look at you, notice, and keep walking.
Yep.
So it's like, why do you think you're entitled to online clients?
Yeah, yeah.
How many Mercedes billboards have you seen? How many successful people have you seen get out of a Mercedes? How many times have you seen Lewis Hamilton win with a fucking Mercedes badge on it? Like, how many exposures to that brand have you had since you could open your eyes?
Yeah, to just be
that's fucking premium, and it's consistent messaging. Not shit all over the place.
Correct.
Not TikTok dances. It's premium. This is a status symbol. If you want to look legit, you get a Mercedes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we go, oh, but I put up my 4 posts. I didn't speak to anyone. I didn't engage with anyone.
Yeah. It's like a new car dealership coming in and just being like, oh, well, we're good too, or we're better. Yeah. I'm like, where's your fucking proof?
Yeah, show me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to buy a car and not test drive it if it's hasn't been around.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with someone who's got years of proof that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I think that's, if you take anything from this
branding,
episode.
the branding is so important.
Yeah. If you take anything from this episode, it's that. And then a lot of trainers, if you're sitting around that 1K week, you're not doing that in the gym even. Like, you're not branding yourself in the gym. You're not saying hello to people. You're not.
Yeah, you don't have like a specific look. Like, you're clean cut. You have a persona, friendly.
Clients all move a certain way. They all train a certain way.
How you interact with them. You're assessing what they do. You've got a program.
Involved.
Yeah. It's like all of that stuff matters.
You're always doing stuff. You're the one with the posters. I know in the last one we said don't do bullshit. But you're doing all the fundamentals well enough that you've got time to run the workshop, to put up the social media posts for the club, to put the poster up with the free program QR code, to go and put the weights away, and make every time your clients walk away from a piece of equipment, if they leave, you're like, oi, put the shit away.
Yep. You're
respectful. You ask people, give people room to work in. Like, that's all becoming the Mercedes-Benz in your gym.
Absolutely. Yeah, you gotta
let people move like shit. Put load-ons that they can't move. Like,
yeah, it's the image of what people think of you. Like, it's this, if you get to choose the image they have of you and your business in their mind. That's why I said during the week to one of the guys in our mentoring call, I was like, marketing and what you put on social media is your opportunity to change or to decide what people think when they hear your name.
Yeah.
So when someone hears STC Fit, we get to decide what they think and feel of that. That is what your marketing is, or your branding is. Your branding more specifically, and then your marketing is like how we're going to solve a problem for you.
Yeah.
So you need to show people who you are. You're good at your job. You need that you can solve their problems. If you can't do that, it's going to be very, very hard to get them to the next step, which is this is how I can help you, which is the sales component.
Yeah. Cool. So if we looked at the mentality component, what you need to be able to run a 10k month business, you need to be resilient. You need to be able to get back on track quickly.
Yep.
This is going to sound like a plug, and it's not. It's all is going to tie back to what we do. Or have someone who can help you do that.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you don't have... I call Jace when I'm like, bro, I don't know what to do.
We hire help too, periodically.
Yes, and we currently have...
So it's like,
problems.
I just think there's just levels, and if you're working in this, it's like, these are the behaviors of everyone. This is how they act. It's like, you're no different. You're going to need support. You're going to need someone to lean on, or people, or a system to adopt, or whatever. And there's like the people ahead of you are doing that too, just at a different level.
Yeah. You need a balance between client-centric and business-centric thinking.
Yep.
Every decision you make need to consider both, not just the client.
Absolutely.
You need to be business-minded. Start to look at things like it's a business.
Yep.
Don't just go to work. Train your clients. Let clients.
Yep. It's like, think about what's next.
Yeah. You need to have adaptability.
Yep.
So you need to plan, goal set, aim, proactively, reactively respond quickly.
Yep.
The quicker you can reactively respond with the least amount of damage,
the better it is.
the more successful you'll be.
Absolutely.
Then you need to have confidence in yourself, in your brand, in your market.
Yep.
And then even just like, we've spoken about it in the past, like telling someone that's 21 to be confident in who they are, and they're like, I don't know who the fuck I am.
Of course.
Design it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can literally go on ChatGPT, and I'm going to make this a module in Standout. It's like prompts. Like, here's all the questions to ask yourself, and just decide who you want to be. Because like, who you pretend to be is who you are, right? Like that's what other people... Well, all that shit we just said about brand, just pretend to be that for a month.
Yeah.
I'm shy. Pretend not to be. I'm not confident. Pretend you are.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not that good technically. Pretend you are. What would you do? I'd watch every rep intently. I'd change angles all the time. I'd pay the fuck attention and not sit on the bench. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not business-minded. What would you do if you were? I'd track my data. Track your fucking data. All of a sudden, you become all those things. So, confidence, if you don't have it, borrow it. Get a mentor, someone that can help. And both, create it.
Absolutely.
Decide who you want it to be.
Yep.
If you do all those things, you should, and apply them to the 5 areas that we think is what makes, we call it a standout PT, but a business owner that could have a repeatable business that someone else could run, in which case there's a high likelihood you can take your business to 10k months. From the evidence that we've seen of 15 years of doing this. So, self, so your mentality, your systems, your service, your sales and branding, and your skill set.
Yep.
If you have those 5 areas with that mentality, like applying that mentality to those 5 areas.
Yeah, you're going to crush it.
Yeah. You can, like 10k months this year, without a doubt.
Yep.
Sweet. If you need help, stcfit.com. Go to Standout PT, book a discovery call with me. We'll have a look at the obstacles you have in your business in those 5 areas. We'll give you a little bit of a scorecard, checklist, see where you're going well, where you're not going well, and show you all the outcomes that we get within Standout PT, and then see if it works for you. And I'll solve some problems for you on the call. Make sure you get some value even if you don't sign up.
Sounds good to me.
Make sure you like, share, subscribe.
Yep.
Last couple of episodes take a slightly different direction, so we'd love to hear some feedback.
Yeah.
If we get more like, share, subscribe, it's usually a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely.
More downloads. So share it with a friend. Get your dog to listen to it. And that's it from us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.